Hi guys, and welcome back to the Player YouTube channel. And today it's a rather special day. No, it's not my birthday, but it is a 10-year anniversary for the Nissan Qashqai, which is a rather lovely car. Check it out. If you're looking for a do-it-all family car, then the Nissan Qashqai will most likely be right at the top of your SUV shopping list. This second generation Qashqai builds on the groundbreaking brilliance of its predecessor. However, it now faces stiff competition from some very accomplished rivals such as the Peugeot 3008. If you click on the drop down above, you can watch the review there. The Qashqai comes with bags of optional safety tech that makes it a safe as well as comfy and efficient family car. Its comfortability may rank high, but the car lacks high-tech gadgets that its rivals offer as standard. So just how does it compare with other SUVs, and which version of the Qashqai should you buy? So, the Nissan Qashqai, 10 years old, is there much of a difference? Well, you can probably see there's a huge difference on the exterior styling. I mean, don't forget, this is the mummy's top trump car of choice. It's got more units sold, beats every other car hands down. But why? That's what you've got to ask yourself. But let's take a look around. And first of all, the distinct differences with the styling of the front. The sweeping LED headlights, these nice low-cut LED fog lamps as well. And this huge grille compared with the old one, which was sort of short and stubby, rather like a pug really, one of those dogs. But then you walk along the front here and you notice, first of all, the sensors for the front parking assist. Why didn't they integrate them into the grille? Instead, they're like a big appendage either side. It's a ridiculous thing to do, and it looks ugly. I think the front of the old one still has a classic look to it, but the new one is definitely oozing a little bit more charisma. So, round at the back of the Qashqais, if that's such a word, has a lot changed in 10 years? Well, yes, I think you judge for yourself when you see the two together here. There has been a few changes, but nowhere near as many as the front. You'll notice straight away is the new LED lights, these big sweeping lights, against these old big fat sort of bullfrog ones that they used to have. You'll also notice that the old whip aerial is gone, the one that used to get caught in the car wash because you forgot to unscrew it, and has been replaced with a nice little shark fin one on the top there. So it's all starting to look good. And look-wise, yes, the old upturned grumpy turtle look, that's gone as well, being replaced with a much smoother, sleeker look to fit in with the competition. But unfortunately that's where it ends, because someone forgot to change the boot clasp, the lid bit, the bit under here that has always caused problems when you've got two bags of shopping or you've got a young child in your arms, because trying to get your fingers under there was always a massive pain, and it still is. And this is the top of the range. This is the Techna Plus. It's £32,000, and if you noticed, it's still a manual boot lift. There's another couple of things as well which really don't stack up. The other day I wanted to pump up the tyres on the kids' bikes. I opened the boot and I'm looking for the 12-volt adapter, which nearly every SUV on the market today has. Not the Qashqai. There isn't one to be seen. That's a major failure in my opinion. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a major failure. There's no scuff guards on the back here, and the boot literage itself, 400 litres. That's no different to a VW Golf. And to be honest, it's no difference to the old one. The old one is exactly the same. So what is stacking up and making this so much more money? What have Nissan done? Well, they came up with an ingenious system for the back parcel shelf, which in my opinion is one of the best things I've ever seen on a car in my life, because I hate these things. Just watch this. So, first of all, you just unclip it like you would any normal one, and then in here, someone at Nissan has thought of the most incredible thing where you can simply slide this parcel shelf in, pop that in the top, there we go, and the next one in as well, and look at that, boom, as if by magic the parcel shelf has disappeared. There's no spare wheel on this car, there is a puncture repair kit. So I'm out in the fields and suddenly I hit a pothole or something. What am I going to do? Puncture repair kit is completely useless. I need a space saver in here. There isn't one. That's another major faux pas on Nissan's behalf, I feel. Split configuration on the seats. Seats down, 1,560 litres of boot space. But again, nothing has changed from the old one. So for a car that's costing 32,000, okay, it is the top of the range, you've really got to ask yourself, they've sold 1 million cars, 1 million Qashqais are out on the road there at the moment. And all they've done is changed a few bits and pieces, the looks of the car, the cosmetics of the car. So therefore, this extra money, it must be on the inside. So let's get in there and have a look, because I need value for money on this thing, because it isn't stacking up at the moment. In the back of the Qashqai, it's exactly as you would expect. There's plenty of legroom. That seat's in the normal driving position. It's light and airy, massive great panoramic roof inside here. And the windows are at a good height as well. However, again, there's no separate heating controls for the passengers in the back here. There is no 12-volt adapter. There is no USB charger. Nothing. It's as basic as it comes. It's really not good. The seats, they're really uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to sit in here for more than an hour or so. They're really like flat. It's like almost like a bench seat. You know, you wouldn't even believe it was a proper seat. And in the middle here, you've got this horrible, great big lump over the front. It's a big bump. So if you were trying to get over here and sit in the middle, this is highly uncomfortable. They've thought of the usuals. There's the Isofix points, and in the middle here, we've got a nice armrest with a double cup holder. There's got to be something more to this car, because it just isn't stacking up. Let's get round the front. As I said, let's have a look in the front, because there's got to be bags and bags of stuff in there that's different from the ones from 10 years ago. So up front in the Qashqai, well, first thing you're going to notice, after 10 years, we have a new steering wheel. And this one they've stolen from a Nissan Micra, but it's still a nice steering wheel, and it's got some nice bits and bobbies on it, which the old one didn't used to have. So you've got your cruise control on the right, and then you've got a nice menu system over here where you can scroll backwards and forwards without having to lean forward to the touchscreen. Let's talk about the touchscreen. Again, that hasn't really changed. It's still the old small Nissan one that they've had all along, and it would be nice to see a bigger screen like some of the competition. You've got all your bits here, very simple to use. The map and the nav system are very basic, as they always were, and nothing really seems to have been updated. Heating system, again, it's just digital. It's no difference to the old one. You've got a 12-volt adapter here, and then inside the glove box here in the middle, got a separate bit here which is for your knickknacks and your phone and bits and pieces. And then just inside there we've got another 12-volt adapter, a USB port, and an auxiliary there for the MP3. And it's quite a large box. I've got a water bottle here, and it will quite easily take a 1 litre bottle, which this isn't. This is a 500. So good size. We like that. This particular model comes with the full leather pack, and that is obviously where the extra money's going. We've got nice double cup holders here. This particular model is the 6-speed manual gearbox, which is far better than the auto gearbox. Trust me, you just go for the manual. It's such a much nicer gearbox on it. And to be honest with you, we've done quite a few miles in this car. It's very, very easy to drive. Super, super gearbox on this car. Heated front seats, low and high, very simple, but it's just boring up here. There's nothing to it. There's no real styling as such. They've sort of tacked a bit of plastic on here, but the rest of it is very scratchable. We've got a very large glove box. Again, I'll show you using the bottle of water to the side, so very easily put that in there, and that also includes the handbook, which is quite small, not bad at all. Good visibility apart from this very large panel here. Again, when you come up to a junction, it's very difficult. It can cause a few issues. And also here, this is your blind spot warning system. On most cars, it's out on the mirror, and I'm used to that. I didn't even notice it was there at first. I've got used to it now, but personally I prefer it out on the mirror there, because when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm about to pull out and overtake, or I'm on a dual carriageway, I like it on the mirror. I'm not looking here to that corner. Computer wise, everything's there the way it was before. It's very comfortable, and this is the 1.6 litre petrol version. I would say it's probably not the best car to go for. There is a 1200cc version of this, it's just not even worth bothering with. And then there are 2 diesel versions as well. Again, there's a 1.5 and a 1.6, and the 1.6 you can actually get in a 4-wheel drive. This one is a two-wheel drive. Again, I think a lot of cars for this type of money should all come with all-wheel drive. When you're comparing this car, and I'm going to compare it to a car we previously reviewed, the Nissan X-Trail. If you check up here now, it will pop up and you can click on that, because they are identical price. And I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. The X-Trail is a 7-seater car with all the extra bits and pieces on it, and it's about 500 quid dearer than this particular car. So it beggars the thought that, you know, when you're weighing up, do I buy a new Qashqai or do I wait? Because that is one good thing about these cars. They are popular, we know that, and their residual value is, above all, beyond every other SUV on the market. So my thoughts are perhaps maybe you wait a few years and get a second-hand one of these, because the build quality of the actual engine, the gearbox and the main running functions of this car is second to none. It is superb. So without further ado, let's get out on the road and see what it actually runs like and give you some feedback on that as well. So let's get her started. It's a keyless ignition system, so it's foot on the clutch and on the brake, and there she goes. Very nice indeed, nice and simple. Out on the road in this car, the first thing you'll notice is it's very difficult to reach the seatbelt round here. For some reason it's quite tight and there's no clip, but yeah, failing that, it's not the end of the world. And you've got all the sensors under the sun in this car. You've got the rear parking system, which the cameras come up, and you've got an overhead camera as well, which is pretty cool. Automatic handbrake, so it releases as soon as you start to move, and you've got an auto hold on it as well. So let's get the car out on the road and give you a little bit of feedback. You're going to feel immediately there's a difference in the engine itself, because one, this is the 1.6 and it's the top of the range. This is the Techno Plus, as I explained before. The gearbox again is absolutely super smooth, far better than the automatic in my opinion, so I would stick with a manual gearbox if you do buy one. There are 4 models in this range, so you start on the base model, which is around £19,000 for the 1.2 litre petrol. It's probably not going to have enough power in it. I haven't tested one, so I can't give you honest feedback on that. As I said, 1.6 this one. The 1.5 diesel is the preferred car in our opinion. It's better value for money. I mean, there's only 10 brake horsepower difference between the 1.6 diesel and the 1.5 diesel. So to be honest with you, not going to notice a lot of difference. Whereas it's slightly cheaper on your car tax in the UK. It's around £140 a year, which isn't bad. It's under 100 on the CO2 list as well, which is great, so your emissions are well down. A little bit when looking through the rear view mirror, back screen, still not big enough in my opinion. It always had that problem on the old car that there wasn't a great view through the back there. It's okay, I wouldn't say it's the best. The original cars, they were launched 10 years ago, that's why we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary. And in Australia, they actually launched them under a different name. They weren't Qashqais, they were called Dualis, which sounds like a toaster. But the reason for that was they didn't want the Aussies nicknaming these cash cows, which they've actually become a cash cow. Nissan are selling nearly 250,000 of these cars every year, and that's just in the European market alone. So it is a bit of a cash cow. But if you shop wisely, there's no reason why, you know, you can't. It's obvious to me why this has become the SUV that is the choice. You know, it's the biggest and most popular car going. Talking about bits and pieces, lane departure warning systems, approach systems. Some of them, the lane departure gets rather annoying when you're driving along normal country roads and A roads, so I've actually switched it off because it keeps beeping every time you go over the white lines, even on a corner, and it really does get rather annoying. But it's there, and it's there to be used, so if you're on a long journey, then, you know, it's a great thing to have. Qashqai, the name. Here's a good bit of trivia for you. Qashqai came from the initial name of Qashqai, which means a horse with a white spot on its forehead. it was in turn adopted by a tribe of rug makers from Iran, can you believe? And then Nissan adopted it for the name of this car. I don't know what the relevance was, but it just seems ironic that you've gone through, you know, a horse with a spot on its head to rug maker, Iranian, whatever, and now it's built in Tyne and Wear. But this is probably the nearest you're going to get to a real British car, which is quite surprising. Overall, the car, yeah, I mean, it's a supercar and value for money, 19 plus, starting up to 32 grand. You can't go wrong. Go for the 1.5 diesel, as I said, cracking little car. You've been watching The Player. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've given you enough information to make your mind up on the new Qashqai. It's a pretty simple choice in my opinion. If you like what you're watching, smash the thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these, hopefully we're getting one done every week now, then subscribe and we'll automatically update you. To subscribe, it's easy. Go to the website. It's theplayer.co.uk. Scroll to the bottom, you'll see the YouTube icon. Hit that, take straight through. Hit the subscribe button. Simple as. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Catch you next week with another car.